Hello, friends. It's Erin. I am coming to you today from my desk, the a, a place of just pure chaos. I am a mess. I just feel like I'm a mess today. I need to film something for you, and I had planned to film the setup of my new, excuse me, of my new Take a Note planner, and it's not that I am not ready to, I could be ready to do that today, but I am so tired. I have, I've been like called into jury duty this week, and I was lucky enough to be able to leave early yesterday, and I haven't been called back in yet, but I'm on call all week. So I have today, but I could be fine the rest of the week, but I also could be called, like tonight I have to call in and they could call me in for the rest of the week. And I don't know. It's so hard to plan things. And so I definitely want to get a video to you on Thursday. And this is just like real life. I'm a mess. I'm tired. I have way too many things going on in my life right now. And having jury duty the week after like a holiday when your kids are home all week, it's just like not, you know, the best, the most conducive for productivity. So, okay, so I'm just going to let you know like what's happening. This video will be for you if you are like me and in the middle of trying to decide a lot of things about what you're going to be using next year. Now, last week, I posted a video that was my 2025 lineup for my journals and planners that I'm using, my Techo Kaigi for next year. And I'd say that is still accurate. If you haven't watched that yet, you can go back and watch that. It's much more organized. I felt very pulled together when I filmed that. So I am still like there, like that video is still relevant. However, I didn't include a lot of things in that video. I didn't include what I would call my supplementary books, whether they're like journals or sketchbooks or creative notebooks or junk journal type. Like I have so many things that I work in, and the way that I am, like my personality is, sometimes I just need the right outlet for the thing that I'm feeling or wanting to express. And so I need to have a certain type of paper or a certain size book or shape of book. Like I need thicker pages for gluing into, or I need thinner pages for writing. It just depends on how I feel in the moment, which is very high maintenance of me. And I can't really, I wish I could. I know. Once upon a time, about, 15 years ago, and longer ago than that, I typically had one journal, and I would just use that journal. And I was also usually writing in it, like only writing in it. And this is before, not before stickers and stuff, but before like washi tape was readily available here. And when I was a teenager, I used different colored pens and all kinds of stickers and stuff. But like, I don't know, I was just using one notebook and it was fine. And now it's like I can't even reduce it to, I don't know, what's reasonable. I don't know what's reasonable. I don't know, for me, I feel like if I could get it down to like, outside of my planners, okay? Planners aside, journals, maybe three, like one for just like writing, one for gluing things into, and I don't know, one that's like maybe a combination. I don't really know. That would be maybe ideal. And here I am. I just have like all these things. And so I'm going to kind of talk some of this through with you. I cannot promise there is going to be any kind of resolution today. I will real quickly tell you that this is this is a mess. Hold on. I'm going to take these covers out. But I have I have the Take a Note planner, the one that I'm using now, and the one for next year is my main work planner. I have my Hobonichi Weeks, which is like my life, like everything, sort of all the things, general planner, including like family life. And also it's a good little memory keeper because I just write notes of what happened throughout the day or what we will do and then what I did. So there's that. And then I have my plotter, which I have called my North Star planner, which is basically the kind of like a goal planner, I guess, in essence, but it just has my big things in here that are not day to day necessarily, but I need to be constantly coming back to this to make sure I'm on the right track. So this is more of a work planner with a little bit of like life stuff thrown in. And so this is my main planning system. I am adding this and this right now. I haven't done anything with this yet, but I think I'm going to make a sort of what I'm going to call a yearbook, but it's going to be like a place where I just track certain things and like not regular daily tracking, but I'll keep a regular record of things that worked, successes, things that I want to try in the future. So this past year, I've had this Hobonichi A6 planner. I used it for things like this in a way. Like I would review the day. I would keep track of things I was working on. I would have like my stats, and I've definitely fell off towards the second half of the year, but I would have pictures at the beginning of the month sometimes just to, I don't know, show a little bit of like, of myself, my artwork, not what I was working on, but just, I don't know. It's like my own little book of my work. This was really, in some ways, really nice. And, I kept up with some things in the beginning. I tried doing financial stuff in the months, but it didn't really work. I had some like stat type things and some accomplishments in the tracker, whatever this yearly overview thing is. I have a mood board, vision board sort of thing in the front, and I did like this. I still do write in it. Sometimes I still have like pasted in a few things that I want to, just make a note of things that I will look back on in future years of what I have accomplished this particular year and things that happened and things that I did, things that I worked on. So this was a good idea, but the daily pages were too much. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do similar things, have it a bit more organized. And this is very small. These are just the B6 Slim Midori Light inserts. And so I'm thinking about something like this. So anyways, I feel like the planning system that I have going on is pretty good. Like I feel really solid about it. All that to say, I feel good about my planning system. That was a lot, but sometimes you got to talk these things out, right? So what I'm struggling with is journaling. I mean, I love writing things down. I love starting new journals. I don't like finishing journals. Like I don't think I ever truly finish a journal like to the last page. I give up on them before they get that far. I get maybe like 80%, maybe sometimes 90%, and I'm just done. And I have accepted that about myself. I think it's okay. Life is too short. So I just need to keep on moving. So, let me move this out of the way. It's another part of my planning system. Let me just give you a really quick, this is what I have on my desk. You should know if you watched my Techokagi from last week. So I'm not going to go in too much depth, but these are like writing journals. Morning pages and just like a normal journal. They're just mostly for writing some minor like sketches or doodles. This is, I don't think I showed this last week. This is my reading companion notebook. It's all set up with some highlighters, pencil, some things in there. I think my pencil's missing, but I have just things that I might need while I'm reading, including some tabs back here. This is a Sterling ink N2 notebook, the full like 500 something pages version from last year. I started using this as a daily log, daily pages, daily log notebook, and I just found it too cramped for that, yeah. Sometimes I start things and I get really rigid with them, and I very quickly lose steam because I'm not about having too many rules in my own notebook. So I tore the pages out. They were very neat and tidy. Tore them out and put some washi tape down so that I could just, actually, is that where it, no, maybe I tore them out here. But still, it was not a big deal. This is page like 30, maybe 29. So that's how many pages I tore out, and it's like not a big deal. It shows a tiny bit right there, but it really doesn't matter. It'll be fine. And this still has a ton of pages in this book. So I just write notes. This is just for writing notes. When I'm reading books and I want to write something down, I just write some notes. Simple as that. Nothing complicated. I will definitely keep this as it is. I like the setup. It's easy to carry around when I'm reading a book. I have everything I need, like right there. So it's fine. Did I take, I think I took the pen out of here. I definitely am missing some parts, but this is good to go. So that doesn't need to change. These two things next year will be reduced into one. This is my morning pages journal, and this is my kind of just like a regular, I don't know, it's been all kinds of things this year, but it's just a writing notebook. And so what I think I'll do next year is have another one of these. I really like the Leuchtturm notebooks. I'll get another one of these, and it'll be for morning pages and everything else. Like, it'll be all together. And I think that'll be good because I need to reduce the amount of notebooks that I have. I need to reduce like the amount of places that I can write in and then have to remember where I wrote something down in. Does that make sense? There are too many places right now, and I want to slim it down. So I feel like those combined will be helpful. I will feel really good about that. By the way, I use Alami Safari with, I think it's a fine nib, with Diatramentus Document black ink in this notebook. And it is just so nice on this paper. I cannot explain to you. It just feels like really bold and nice. It's smooth, it's buttery. I don't know. I love it so much. So that combination makes me happy, and I want to keep, using it. I like the cream paper too. And right now in my morning pages, I have a Hobonichi grid notebook that is fine. And I do like Tomoe River paper, but I don't love white paper. And it just feels so stark and cold, and I want the warmth from this. So those combined, I think that's going to solve all the problems that I have with that, and it's going to be good. So these are decisions made. This is good. Those will be good. This is just a sketchbook. I think this is fine. I made this out of Midori cotton paper. It's like sketchbook slash I'm just working on things. It was just a normal travel type sketchbook, and now I'm just writing notes, and it's not anything fancy. It's just for working. So I had this beautiful leather A6 Hobonichi cover, and I don't know why I'd never thought about putting a cover on the leather cover, but I saw somebody do it and put stickers, I think, on the plastic cover. And I don't know, my mind was blown, I guess. I was like, wow, you can do that. Because I don't know, it's leather, it's different. I don't know why it's different. But I already had this, and I thought that was pretty, and it protects it because, like I said, it's a sketchbook, and it's kind of a messy sketchbook, and I want to use this cover, but this makes me feel a little bit better about using it. So that's that. Okay, so here's where it gets a little bit more confusing. I'm gonna move these to the side. This is an old, I'm gonna take this out too. This is just an old notebook that has a lot of stuff in it that I want to transfer somewhere. A lot of really important things, some things that I've written, some things that are like quotes from other people. And I just wanted to make sure that I remembered to do that. Sorry, that really doesn't have anything to do with this. All right, so here I have a few things. Ideally, I feel like these, oh, you know what? I'll tell you why these were separated together. And they really should have gone in this pile. This is like similar because it's just writing. It's it's just writing, maybe some drawing and doodles, but like not a lot of gluing, not a lot of decor. This one is gonna go in my bedside table because I mean it is, I could retire it, but there's still a lot of pages in here, and it's also just really special. This notebook is very special to me. I made it start to finish. It has some To My River paper. It also has like drawing paper in here, like thicker drawing paper, which I would not do again, put those together because it's kind of awkward. But I made the notebook, I covered it with leather, I stamped the cover, and I wrote all through it and drew in it, and it's really special. So I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna either just keep it in my bedside table, and I might still use it occasionally, but I don't know. I don't know. It's there. It's special. It's staying out. It's about 3 years old, 4 years old, going on 4 years old, but 2021, April 17th, 2021. So it's been around a little while. This is my blue TN. This has had a lot of customizations. I did have one of those brass things with the, where is it? It's right here. This. I had this on there and I just pulled it off. I didn't have it sewn on. I just had it stuck on and it came off, and I rubbed the glue off and it was fine. It left a slight mark, but I don't really care. I also, at one time, I stitched, like there's holes. I don't know if you can really see that, but I stitched a leather pen sleeve, pen cover, pen holder. What are they called? Pen loop sort of thing. I stitched one on here and then took it off. And I think the thing is I just really love to feel the notebook as it is, naked, and I didn't want to have a bunch of stuff on there. I took this off first, like quite a while ago, and I just took this off today, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel better about it. I think that this alone is so comforting, and the metal thing was just in my way. It didn't make me happy, so I just took it off. Right now, this has an older notebook in it that is something that I was using towards the beginning of the year as my daily pages. This is what I used at some point during the year. I moved like the Hobonichi Weeks size thing that I had, that I showed you. I ripped out the pages. That was my daily log. Was that my daily log before this? This is from March. Yeah, probably, because this is from March until June, I think. And summer always gets me. I always like lose the plot in the summertime. So yeah, so this was with me for quite a long time, and I did enjoy it so much. It's a grid notebook from Baumkuchen, so it has like the cream tomoe river paper and grid. It's beautiful. But at some point during the summer, I was no longer doing daily pages, and I had half the notebook left. So I decided to bring it back in here and just use it as a place to jot down things. Last night I used it before I went to bed, and that was nice. So I'm keeping it by my bed, and it is just another place to write. I'm just writing. Trying to get to the point where I can use stuff up so that when the year turns over, I will be ready for new stuff, you know? So I have another grid notebook set up, same notebook. I have it ready. Yeah, I was struggling with what to do with it, and then I decided part of that is because I think I'm happy when there's really only one notebook. And of course there's other stuff. There's like a folder and some other stuff in here, but there's only one notebook. And I think I'll just change this over. This is another creative journal where I do definitely like glue stuff in, decorate pages, and do more of that kind of thing. And I had that notebook in here, the new one, and I wasn't using it. And I decided that that was partially because I think this is set up more for a more wild creativity, a more like active. Yeah, I think that might be a good way to say it. Like, this is more of an active space where I'm being actively creative and a little bit reflective, but I'm also, I don't know, like I combine things, and it's almost like a vision casting or like just I'm getting ideas, and it's exciting. And that plain notebook is more of a place for reflection and thinking and being quiet, and it's definitely, I wouldn't say passive, but it's not quite as active as this. So what I did is I took that out. I still have my folder in here. I love this. I took that back out and I put this back in, which is the accordion, where I am keeping track of my thread. More to come on the thread. But yeah, so that's what this is. And I do think that this fits with this better. So this is probably going to stay the way it is, even in the new year. There's nothing to change. I still have a good bit to go in this notebook. This is the GU Weekly from Baumkuchen. I don't really use it as a weekly book, but I could if I wanted to. And yeah, so obviously this is like a long-term project. So that's what's in there. I would consider this creative, definitely more along the lines of like a work journal, because this is where I work out some of my thoughts on paintings and illustrations and things that I'm working on for like as an artist. So it's, yeah, it's not like cozy time. I don't know. It's so hard to separate these things, but it also goes along with this. So I put these things together because these in my mind are connected. This is something very similar in that it's a place to like collect things. I have barely done anything in here, but it is a place where I'm gonna paste things that either inspire me or make me think about something, or it's a similar purpose, I guess, working out problems and ideas for my artwork, but in a different format, a different size book. And I can probably like I can definitely glue bigger things in here, but like more things, I think, than in here. So I think these are both necessary. They're very different formats. And even though they are similar, I feel like they're both gonna stay. Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. And you've already heard about it some, right? I think. It's what, have I shown you the setup? I have been working on slowly setting it up. It is what it's kind of taking the place of my personal space journal from this past year. It's just a notebook. It's just a sterling ink B6 size, like half year, like the half, so it's smaller notebook, and it's not numbered. I bought this, I think, before they offered numbered notebook pages, maybe. So I've had this for a couple years, but it's going to be the place where I can just play, and it is more of a personal space. It's more of like the place where I'll just write down lists of books and things. So this is where it gets so hard, because I have all these ideas for notebooks and things, and then I can't even talk about them because I just kind of don't know where one ends and the other begins. And I do feel like I'm overcomplicating it. I don't know how, with my brain and my tendencies and what I like, and I don't know how to not complicate it, because inevitably I will. Even if I narrow it down, I will still go back and get this out again. I don't like to think of things as like an entire year to use one system, like whatever that system is not something that makes a lot of sense. I think when your life is like constantly changing with like different needs of like my children, my work, life is just changing all the time. And so it's unreasonable for me to think that I should stick to one system throughout the entire year and not be flexible about that. So I am definitely easy on myself in that regard. I also don't buy a ton of stuff. I mean, I do buy plenty, but I'm not the kind of person who to just like turn around and buy another planner and another planner and another planner because I get uncomfortable with one. I do try to make things work with what I have first, and then sometimes if I'm really inspired, I'll buy something. But often after a lot of thought about it and with like really legit reasons to buy something new or different. Not always though. Last year I made a big mistake and I bought this. I bought a Hobonichi cousin, the big one. And I had the idea that this was going to be like my main commonplace book, and I was going to write down all the things that I was studying, books that I was reading, everything that I was looking into would go in here. And instead of the dates as dates, I would use them as an indexing system. And I would put the topic in the, in the front where the dates are referenced. Where'd it go? Yeah, in this section. Like I just write a little index back here. I think that's a great idea. I think somebody else should do that. I just think that I don't, first of all, this year I did not have the time to focus this much effort on this kind of thing. I do love it though. And so, but at the same time, I do kind of feel like things get lost in here, and I don't know what to do about that. I mean, on one hand, I really love this. On the other, it's not very, I feel like it's not quite useful. I'm not sure if it's not useful because I haven't used it correctly, or like, should I keep trying? Should I just ignore, like I said, I was going to ignore the dates. Should I just keep ignoring the dates and just continue to use this? But also, I have started a new system, which I will be talking about, which is kind of new to me, but also kind of not new, because it's sort of like my long-term obsession with index cards. I love index cards. I've loved them for a very, very, very long time. I'm a stationery girl, you know, like from when I was a kid, and index cards, I don't know what it is about them. I've always loved them. I use them any chance I can get. I just am crazy about them. And when I was in middle school and I first learned how to write a research paper, we used index cards because I was in middle school in like possibly still in the 80s, early 90s. So we didn't, you know, that's the way you did things back then. And so I learned how to make bibliography cards, and then the reference numbers to the bibliography cards, and then the whole thing, everything, the whole paper began by like building a stack of index cards with all your notes. And I used that even in high school. I mean, I had to turn in my index cards in high school. So I might be the last generation that had to do that. I don't know. But I have learned about the system called Zettelkasten, which is essentially like very similar to that, a little, like, I'd say a lot more complicated, but very similar idea. And I'm just like, my whole world is like opened up. I'm so excited. It's one of those things, you know, when you discover something and it's like you've always known all along that it was there, but you didn't know anybody else was doing it, or you didn't know like it was a legitimate thing. It was just like some kind of fantasy world in which people used index cards like you dream of using index cards. And so I'm very excited about building this system of using index cards too. And so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. I think this might be for a very select audience of people who are interested in something like this. But commonplace books have never worked for me. And even though I've been trying, I mean, literally for probably more than 20 years to do something like commonplace books, starting with, I remember having a quote book that was categorized by themes. You know, the quotes had, like, the page would have a theme. I mean, a commonplace book was what it was. I don't know if I called it that, but I had one of those when I was in college. And yeah, I get really tired really fast of trying to categorize things in that way. And so this system does not require you to categorize things. There is a system that does organize it in a way that is like a category, but it connects things to each other in a way that is different than a book can do. Like a book, you know, you have to turn the pages in order, and cards you can move around and pull them out and move them around. It's very different just in the format of it. So I'm so excited about that. So that's one of the reasons why I don't know how much time I want to invest in a physical book like this, which would take hours to fill up. And then what do I do with it? I almost want to take the information in this book and go ahead and write it on index cards to put in my Zettelkasten system. So I don't know. Those are just thoughts. I I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of questions. I have almost no answers today. That's just the way it is. I don't know even. I feel like I don't even know if this video is going to see the light of day. I don't know if you're going to be able to watch it. So if you are watching it and you made it this far, please just like let me know something in the comments. I mean, even if you leave an emoji of some kind, that would be like a signal to me. What emoji? People do this all the time and I don't really understand it. But in this video, I kind of think like, oh, that might be fun. Like, is there a weird like index card box emoji or something, like maybe just a notebook? I don't know. Anyway, let me know if your mind is as like, you know, spiraling and all over the place as much as mine is right now. It's a weird time of year because like with the weeks, I've already moved into the next book, but most of the time, you know, I'm like in between these books and I haven't started new books, but I'm about to, and I'm getting them ready, and I want to, but you know, there's just, it's a weird limbo. It's just a weird space. And my brain, I think, suffers a little bit for it. I think I think this time of year, part of the chaos and the stress is just simply, I don't know where to put anything. I just don't know where to write it down. And I just desperately need a place to put things down on paper. That's another thing that the index cards solve, guys, because you don't have to get new index cards every year. You just keep adding index cards. It's great. So I'm going to end it here. Yeah, I love you. I hope you're well. I hope that you feel much more at peace with things than I do. And I will talk to you very soon. Next week's video will probably be a lot more, I don't know, streamlined, organized. It'll make sense, probably. Maybe it'll be a setup video for my planner or something like that. We'll see. Let me know what you want to see. I would gladly take suggestions. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.